Hi everybody, welcome to my channel again. So we are doing a series of questions on order of operations. If you like my channel, please like and please subscribe, because I have loads and loads of calculations to help you with your studies. Right, without further ado, let's just get started. So we're still on order of operations. So this is order of operations 2. So if you want to see the order of operations 1, just go back to my channel, and I'll also try to link it below. But if not, please go back to my channel and scroll through. You'll find order of operations 1, but this is 2 we're starting. Okay, so right. Remember, we are dealing with BODMAS here. So sometimes introducing brackets will help you. And at times the question comes with brackets, but you can introduce brackets to make it easier for you. So I'll do this. Yeah. And this. So the idea of BODMAS, like I said in my previous video, is that you want to work things out in little chunks. So you can do the right hand side or the left hand side first, but we'll start with 22 plus 9, and that will give us 31, and then plus, and we need to solve the other bracket, 8 plus 3, and that gives us 11. Ooh, okay, there we go. I've made an error again. That's not meant to be plus. So the sign that is here is multiplication, so that should be multiplication. My apologies. So we are doing 31 multiplied by 11. So normally I would physically do the calculation down here to show you how I work it out with long multiplication. But if you want to see how I do the long multiplication, you have to go back to my videos to see where I have treated long multiplication. So for now, I'm just going to give you the answer as it should be. So if we went through this method, 31 times 11, and that will give us 341. Now this is one way to do it, okay? So we're going to look at another way to do it. So I'm just going to put like a little squiggly line down here. So hopefully you can see that we're losing some of the numbers. All right, there we are. So another way we can do this will be to not introduce a bracket. Okay, so I'm going to take the brackets off like that. So we're back to square one. So imagine there's no bracket. Well, there wasn't in the first place. So if this was a question you got, following BODMAS, you can start with these first. So 9 times 8, because multiplication comes before addition. So 9 times 8 is 72. So in fact, I'm just going to rub all of this off. So just bear with me, bear with me. So the first method I've shown you is whereby you can introduce brackets to help you do it in little chunks. Or you just approach it this way. 9 times 8, 72, because we're dealing with BODMAS. And then bring down plus, and we've got 22, bring down plus, we've got 3. And then just add all the numbers together. So we can start by doing 72 add 3, and that's 75. Then add on the 22, and we've got 97. Okay, so that's the strange thing about BODMAS really. If you don't do it in little chunks, or if you don't follow the exact rule of BODMAS, 5 of us could come up with 5 different answers basically. So yeah, but I think I'll go with this one because I'm satisfied with that. Okay, so let's go to 1B. With 1B, we're going to do the same thing we did on 1A. So in BODMAS, addition comes before subtraction, but this is where we're going to be coming across negative values. So I'm going to treat this as negative 6, okay, because of the sign to the left of it, add 2. So negative 6 add 2 is negative 4. Then we can bring down the 15 and bring down the negative 22. Okay, now 15 subtract 4, that is 11, and then we'll bring down the negative 22. Now 11 subtract 22, that is negative 11. Now for those of you who are wondering how I came about the negative, I'm not going to go into that in too much detail in this video. Just watch out for my other videos where I have dealt with negative values, so basically integers, in detail. So we're just going to go on to question 2a. Right, so for question 2a, we're starting the same way again. So dealing with the division comes before subtraction in BODMAS. So 61 divided by 1 is just 61. And then you bring down the negative 5 and bring down the negative 12. And then again, we just do it in little chunks basically. So 61 subtract 5. And 56. And then we bring down the negative 12. And then 56 subtract negative 12, and we've got, well, 56 subtract 12, and we've got 44. Okay, so on to 2b. Now in this one, we've got, sorry, I keep hitting my stand and shaking the camera, my apologies. Right, we've got 2 division signs here and then a positive, so whatever the case may be, we'll have to deal with the division first. So we can start by doing 20 divided by 2, and that gives us 10. So I'll do this bit first. 20 divided by 2, that is 10. And then bring down the divide by 2, bring down the positive 10. And then we go to the next step. 10 divided by 2, that is 5. And then we bring down our positive 10. And then we have 5 add 10, and that's 15. Okay, so moving swiftly on. We're on question 3a. So again, it's just basically the same procedure all the way through. So division comes before multiplication or addition in the BODMAS. So we're going to do this first, 60 divided by 3, and we have 20. And then bring down the times 2, bring down the positive 3. And then we do the next chunk, 20 divided by 2, and that's 40. Now I'm saying the wrong thing. 20 multiplied by 2, so that is 40. And then we bring down our positive 3. And then we have 40 add 3, that's 43. Okay. I need to watch out and not confuse you guys with saying multiplication when I mean division. Alright, so we have multiplication, subtraction, and subtraction. So in BODMAS, multiplication comes before subtraction. By the way, I have been saying BODMAS, BODMAS. Some people or some textbooks or some teachers will say BIDMAS. It's basically the same thing. So when you use the word BODMAS, O stands for order, whilst if you use the word BIDMAS, I stands for index. So basically it's still the same thing, but whichever one that comes naturally to you. So yeah, right, 6 times 3 is 18, and then we bring down negative 24 and bring down the negative 2 we have there. And then again, like I always say, you just work in little chunks and you can't get it wrong. 18 subtract 24, so it's almost like you saying 24 subtract 18, but because the negative is here, so your answer will be a negative answer. So we go there, negative 6, and then negative 2, you bring that down, and then we have negative 6 subtract 2. So basically, with a number like this, the way you look at it is, imagine that the negative signs are not there. So I'm just going to close that. 6 is larger than 2. So this is when we imagine the negative sign is not there. So 6 is larger than 2. Now when we magically put it back, we have the negative sign is in front of 6. So that means that your final answer will be a negative answer. And then because you have two negative signs here, that means you just add these two numbers together. 6 add 2, that is 8. So negative 6 subtract 2 is negative 8. But you get more on that if you go back to my channel and search for negative worksheets, or search for the integers. But I'll put a link below. Okay. So number 4a, 5 squared times by 4, subtract 16. Now, when I said index, this is what I meant by index. So in the BIDMAS, the I stands for index, and this is it. So index is where you have a number that's got a power. So that some would say 5 to the power of 2, or 5 with an index of 2. So we'll deal with that first. There's no bracket here. If there was a bracket, we'll deal with the bracket, but right now no bracket. So the next letter is I, which stands for index. 5 to the power of 2 is the same thing as saying 5 times 5, so that's 25. Now we bring down the times for negative 16. So again, working in little chunks. So we do 25 times 4, and that's just simply 100. And then bring down the negative 16, so we have 100 subtract 16, and that gives us 84. Okay, so we're almost there. We've got division here, we've got multiplication and multiplication. So we're just going to do the division first. 7 divided by 7, that is 1. Then we have this multiplication sign, we bring it down, bring down the 2, bring down multiplication, bring down the 5, and we're on the next stage. So 5 times 2 is 10, 10 times 1 is just 10. So our final answer for this one, pretty straightforward, just 10. Okay, and finally we're on question 5a. So we've got addition, and subtraction. So we'll just do, we can decide to do because addition comes before subtraction anyway. So in little chunks, 27 add 14, and that will give us 41. Then we bring down the positive 3 and the negative 3. Then again in little chunks, or I could just do 3 subtract 3, that's 0, and then we end up with 41, but yeah. Because we're working in little chunks, so let's just go 41 add 3, that's 44, and then subtract 3, so we end back up with 41. The thing is, once you get the hang of BIDMAS anyway, or BODMAS, whichever one works best for you, you work a lot quicker and you work a lot faster. You just know what to do. So like if I bring us back to 5a, sorry, you would see that I could have just at this stage just known, like I would have just known that 3 minus 3 is 0, so I just put down the 41 and that's it. So I'll be able to skip this step. So the better you become, or the more confident you become in the BODMAS, the more chances, or the easier it is for you to skip steps. Yeah, that's what I'm trying to say. So the easier it becomes for you to skip steps. So yes, now 5b, which is the final one for this session. So we've got the index again that I spoke about earlier. So index is just power. So 4 times 4 is 16. So we do that first, and then plus 30 and divided by 5. Now in BODMAS, division comes first, so we're going to do this bit here, 30 divided by 5, and that is 6. So we have 16 plus 6, and that gives us 22. And that marks the end of this session. Please like and subscribe, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye.